Dear students, in this video we will discuss JEE Advanced 2020 Chemistry Paper 2. In this paper we have 3 sections. In first section the maximum marks will be 18 marks and this section contains 6 questions. The answers to each question is a single digit integer ranging from 0 to 9. Here the first question. The first and second and third ionization enthalpies I1, I2 and I3 of 4 atoms with atomic numbers n, n plus 1, n plus 2 and n plus 3 where n less than 10 are tabulated below. What is the value of n? You have to find out what is the value of n. Atomic number n, ionization potential, first ionization is 1681, second ionization 3374 and the third ionization 6050. Here the difference between conjugative ionization enthalpies is very less. In case of n plus 1 also there is no huge change from I1 to I2 and I2 to I3. In n plus 2 case, from I1 to I2, there is a nearly 9-fold increase in ionization enthalpy. So this one indicates the n plus 2 is a alkali metal. We know that for alkali metals, the first ionization potential is very less, but the second ionization potential is very high. And if you take n plus 3, first ionization potential is less and second ionization potential is also very less. But if you take third ionization potential, it is nearly 6 times to the second ionization potential. So this one indicates n plus 3 atomic number containing atom is alkali earth metals or alkaline earth metals. So this one is n plus 3 is alkaline earth metal, n plus 2 is alkali metal. Obviously n plus 1 will be inert gas. This one is inert gas and n will be halogen. Okay, less than 10, what is a halogen? You can find less than 10, the halogen is fluorine. This is the fluorine, this is the neon, this is the sodium, this is the magnesium. So what is the n value? The n value is equal to 9. Consider the following compounds in the liquid form. Okay, these are the molecules, these are the compounds in the liquid form. When a charged cone is brought near the flowing stream, how many of them show deflections as for the following figure? Here it's a charged cone. Okay, which type of liquids will be deflected in presence of a charged field? Generally, if you take polar compounds will be deflected by charged cone. If you take non-polar compounds will not be deflected. So charged compounds, okay, this is the float of charged compounds, polar compounds. Non-polar compounds, this is the floating of non-polar compounds. In this case, you have to identify which are polar compounds, which are non-polar compounds. Okay, diatomic molecule O2, it's a non-polar, and HF, this one is polar, H2O polar, NH3 is polar, hydrogen peroxide is polar, and carbon tetrachloride, this one is non-polar, the dipole moment is 0. When the dipole moment is 0, the molecule is non-polar. This one is polar, and benzene, this one also non-polar, and benzyl chloride, this one is polar. Okay, how many polar compounds are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 polar compounds are there. So these 6 compounds will be deflected by the charged chrome. Remaining 3 compounds, oxygen, CCl4, C6H6, these will not be deflected by charged chrome. So the answer is 6. In the chemical reaction between stoichiometric quantities of KMnO4 and Ki in weakly basic solution. Here what is the condition? Weakly basic solution. What is the number of moles of I2 released for 4 moles of KMnO4 consumed? Okay, in presence of weak base, KMnO4 means MnO4 minus, this one converts into MnO2. Okay, you have to balance this MnO4 minus and MnO2 in presence of basic solution. First, there is a balance of heteroatoms. Other than oxygen, you have to balance. Okay, manganese 1, left side manganese 1, right side is also manganese 1. Here, left side you can find 4 oxygens, right side you can find 2 oxygens. In presence of base, MnO4 minus and MnO2. Okay, in presence of base, you have to add how many less number of oxygens are there to that double amount of OH minus you have to add. It means left side you have 4 oxygens, right side you have 2 oxygens. Right side you can find 2 less number of oxygens. For this you have to add double number of OH minus, 4 OH minus. Then left side you have to add half of the OH minus ions. So it will be 2H2O. Here everything is balanced. Oxygens are balanced and also hydrogens and manganese all are balanced. But how many electrons are involved in this case? How many electrons are involved? Oxidation state is +7 and this one is +4. So how many electrons are involved? 3 electrons are involved in this reduction process. And what is another off reaction? Iodide is converted into I2, I minus. This one is converted into I2. So here you can balance 2I minus gives rise to I2. Here how many electrons are involved? Here 2 electrons are involved. So you have to balance the electrons. How can you balance electrons? If you multiply with this one with 2 and this one with 3, then you can balance electrons. There is a cancellation of 6 electrons. So finally, what is the equation you will get? You will get 2 MnO4 minus plus 2H2O. Left side you have 3 into 2, 6I minus. Okay, gives rise to 2 MnO2 and how many I2? 3 into I2. 3I2 and 8OH minus. Okay, this is the balanced equation. So you have to compare MnO4 minus and I2. Okay, these two you have to compare. In this case, 2 moles of MnO4 minus, okay, releases 3 moles of I2. Then when you use 4 moles of MnO4 minus, obviously it's double to the 3, so 6I2. For 2 moles it is 3, for 4 moles it will be 6. So what is the answer? How many moles of I2 will be released in basic medium? 6 moles. 6 moles of I2 will be released. An acidified solution of potassium chromate was laid with an equal volume of amyl alcohol. Okay, when it was shaken after the addition of 1 ml 3% H2O2, a blue alcohol, this is the hint, blue alcoholic layer was obtained. The blue color is due to the formation of chromium 6 compound X. What is the number of oxygen atoms bonded to chromium through only single bonds? Only single bonds. Only single bonds in a molecule of X. Okay, let us take the compound. Okay, we are taking potassium chromate, acidified potassium chromate. This is acidified potassium chromate, CrO4 2 minus H plus. This is the aqueous phase, and you are adding an equal volume of amyl alcohol. This is the amyl alcohol. So this one is 1 pentanol amyl alcohol. This is alcohol. Okay, when you introduce 3% of H2O2, okay, when you add 3% of H2O2, when you add 3% H2O2, okay, in presence of H2O2, this CrO4 2 minus potassium chromate or potassium dichromate will be converting into CrO5. This compound is very unstable in aqueous medium. So these molecules will be diffused into alcoholic layer. Okay, here due to CrO5 in alcoholic layer, there is a blue alcohol layer you can find. The color of CrO5 is blue. Then you have to identify, here X is CrO5. You have to identify only single bonds. Okay, oxygen atoms bonded to chromium through only single bond. What is the structure of CrO5? Okay, this is the structure of CrO5. So 5 oxygens will be attached, and this is the structure of CrO5. Okay, here this oxygen is attached with chromium with double bond. This oxygen with single bond, this one is only single bond, this one is only single bond, and this one is only single bond. So how many oxygens which are directly attached with chromium with only single bonds? How many are there? Only 4 out of 5. Only 4 have single bonds. The structure of peptide is given below. If the absolute values of net charge of the peptide at pH is equal to 2, this is the acidic condition, and pH is equal to 6, it's in nearly neutral condition, and pH is equal to 11, this one is basic condition. Okay, you have to take absolute values, absolute charge, total charge at acidic, neutral, and basic. Then what is G1, G2, and G3? Sum of absolute values of G1, G2, and G3. We know that if you take acidic medium, the amine groups, okay, NH2 group will be converting into NH3 plus. Good, in presence of H plus. So here, how many NH2 groups are there? This is one NH2 group, and this one is another NH2 group. This one converts into NH3 plus in acidic medium. This one also converts into NH3 plus. So finally, what is the charge? Actually, these amide bonds, if you take CONH, here also CONH, here nitrogen will not be protonated. Only amine groups will be protonated. So what is the absolute value of G1? What is the absolute value of charges, sum of charges? Here 1 plus 1 and plus 1, it will be 2. If you take a neutral medium, this is about acidic. The pH is equal to 6, nearly neutral medium. Here in neutral medium, there is no protonation or deprotonation. So the total charge on the molecule will be 0. So what is the Z2? The Z2 is equal to 0. And if you take basic medium, actually acidic groups deprotonated. Here, what are the acidic group? This one is acidic group. Suppose if you take this one is acidic group, and COOH, this one is acidic group, and this one also acidic group, CO2H. Okay, these three groups are acidic groups. In basic condition, this one will become O minus. There is a deprotonation. Here there is a removal of H plus minus H plus. So here COO minus, and here also COO minus. So finally, what is the total charge? Total charge, it will be -1 plus -1 -1 -1. It will be -3. If you take absolute value, so G3 is equal to absolute value of G3 is equal to 3. So finally, if you take the sum G1, G2 and G3, you will get 5. So what is the sum of G1, G2, G3? The sum is 5. Okay, an organic compound rotates plane polarizer light. It produces pink color with neutral FeCl3 solution. Okay, this is the hint. Pink color with neutral FeCl3 solution. It means it's a phenol derivative. The given compound is phenol derivative. What is the total number of all possible isomers? You have to identify both structural and stereo isomers. Possible stereo and structural isomers. So since it is a phenol derivative, you have to write down first phenol. This is a phenol. Here 6 carbons are there, and you have 2 more carbons. You can put here, and also 1 more oxygen. So you can put this one. If you take this molecule has the formula C8H10O2. The number of carbons 8, hydrogens 10, and oxygens 2. Okay, how many isomers are possible? Okay, another one, you can take positional isomer. This one is ortho, and the meta related meta, and also you can have para. So here there is a OH, and here 3, you have 3. At the same time, the OH can be written as below to the plane. Above the plane is possible, and below to the plane is also possible. Here you have to consider all possible isomers. Okay, in this case also you can find 3. What are the other two? And these are other 2. Ortho, meta, and also para. And this is a para. So for this 3, so total how many are possible? The total possible isomers are 6. In an experiment, m grams of a compound X may be gas, liquid, solid, taken in a container is loaded in a balance as shown figure 1 below. In the presence of magnetic field, okay, these are magnetic fields, the pan with X is either deflected upward or deflected downward. Okay, in figure 2 there is a deflection, upward deflection. In figure 3, there is a downward deflection. Depending on the compound X, identify the correct statements. Okay, which are the correct statements? Okay, deflection upward. Okay, when it is possible, deflection upward. When the substance is diamagnetic, then deflection upward is possible. Why? There is a repulsion between diamagnetic substances and external magnetic field. Okay, and downward deflection. This one is possible when the substance is paramagnetic. We know that paramagnetic substances are attracted by the external magnetic field. So, if you take this molecule, H2O liquid, if X is H2O liquid, deflection of fan is upwards. Okay, if you take H2O, all the electrons are paid. There is no unpaid electron. So it's a diamagnetic compound. It's a diamagnetic compound. So deflection upward, fan is upward. So this one is correct. Since it is diamagnetic, there is a deflection upward. And if X is K4FeCN6 solid, deflection of the fan is upwards. Okay, let us take K4FeCN6. This is K4FeCN6. What is the oxidation state of iron? Here, oxidation state of iron is 2 plus 2. Okay, what is the electronic configuration? The electronic configuration will be D6. So, since Cr minus is a strong field ligand, here the electrons, if we take the splitting, octahedral splitting, will be like this. This is the T2Z and these are easy set of orbitals. Here the splitting energy, crystal field delta naught is greater than pairing energy P. So since crystal field splitting energy is greater than pairing energy, the electrons will be paid. The 6 electrons will be paid in T2Z level. So all the electrons are paid. Since all the electrons are paid, the substance is diamagnetic. So diamagnetic, it should be deflection of the pan is upward. This one also correct. And if X is O2, deflection of the pan is downwards. Okay, oxygen, we know that from molecular orbital diagram, if you take oxygen, it has two unpaired electrons, and it is a paramagnetic substance. Paramagnetic substance will be attracted by the magnetic field, so there is a downward deflection. This one also correct. Okay, next one, if X is a C6H6L, deflection of the pan is downward. C6 benzene, if you take this one is diamagnetic, benzene is diamagnetic, the deflection should be upward, not downward. So this one is incorrect. Here identify correct statements. What are the correct statements? In this case, A, B and C are the correct statements. Number 8. Which of the following plots are correct for the given reaction? Okay, P0 is the initial concentration of P. Okay, this is tertiary alkyl bromide. Okay, this one is reacted with sodium hydroxide. It's a nucleophilic substitution reaction. We know that tertiary alkyl bromides exhibit SN1 type of mechanism. So what is the order of reaction? Order of reaction is equal to 1. Okay, when order of reaction is equal to 1, we know that T of is equal to 0.693 by K. It is independent of initial concentration, that is P0. So when you take graph between P0 and T of, the T of value is constant. It means it is parallel to the P0 value. So this one is correct. And if you take B, rate, initial rate is equal to K into concentration of P0, initial concentration. As the initial concentration increases, the rate initial rate increases. So the graph should be like this. And if you take Q by P naught, okay, let us take T is equal to 0. What is the concentration? P naught, and this one is 0. Q is 0. At time T is equal to T, what is the concentration? Let us take P, then Q is equal to difference between P naught and P. P naught minus P. So if you take first order kinetics, K T is equal to 1 by K ln initial concentration P naught by P. Okay, this one is equal to, okay, that implies ln P naught by P, P naught by P is equal to KT, and P naught by P is equal to, P naught by P is equal to e power of KT, and P by P naught is equal to e power of minus KT. Here P is can be written as P is equal to P naught minus Q. So in place of P you can substitute P naught minus Q by P naught is equal to e power of minus KT. Then what is this value? 1 minus Q by P naught is equal to e power of minus KT. So finally Q by P naught is equal to 1 minus e power of minus KT. So this graph will be like this. If you take temperature, time and Q by P naught. Okay, this graph will be like this. So this is not correct. C is not correct. And if you take ln P by P naught, okay, from this equation you can write what is ln P by P naught by P is equal to KT. Here ln P naught by P naught, P by P naught is equal to minus KT. So you have to get negative slope. So this is the equation for this one. Okay, this equation is for ln P naught by P, not ln P by P naught. So this one is also wrong. So what is the answer finally? A is the answer. A is the correct answer. Which among the following statements is true for the extraction of aluminium from bauxite? If you take a hydrated Al2O3, the first option, hydrated Al2O3 precipitates when CO2 is bubbled through a solution of sodium aluminate. Here sodium aluminate, if you take a solution of sodium aluminate, it contains NaAlOH4. Okay, this is a solution of sodium aluminate. When CO2 is bubbled through sodium aluminate, there is a formation of Al2O3 and XH2O and sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3. So this one is correct. There is a formation of hydrated Al2O3. And addition of Na3AlF6 lowers the melting point of alumina. If you take a Hall-Héroult process, in this process okay, actually this is the question. This is the question. This one is answer I have. Okay, this is taken from NCERT, directly taken from NCERT. Okay, in Hall-Héroult processor, to decrease melting point, you have to add Na3AlF6 or calcium fluoride. This one is correct. And CO2 is evolved at the anode during electrolysis. Okay, if you take anode and cathode, what is the anode? In this case, graphite is the anode, and a steel vessel with carbon lining is the cathode. Okay, at anode, you can find There is a C plus O2 minus gives rise to CO plus 2 electrons, and it reacts another 2 O2 minus. Finally, there is a formation of CO2. At anode, there is a formation of CO2. This one is also correct. The cathode is a steel vessel with a lining of carbon. This one also correct. So all four correct. A, B, C, and D all are correct in this. Choose the correct statements among the following. Okay, let's take first one. SnCl2 H2O is a reducing agent. If we take Sn2 plus SnCl2, the oxidation state is 2 plus. Here Sn2 plus can be converted into Sn4 plus, and this one releases 2 electrons. These 2 electrons will reduce other chemical species. So SnCl2 can act as a reducing agent. SnO2 reacts with KOH to form K2SnOH6. This one also correct. SnO2 and 2 equivalents of KOH plus H2O. There is a formation of K2SnOH6. This one also true. A solution of PbCl2 in HCl contains lead 2 plus and Cl minus ions. We know that lead chloride, this is the white precipitate. So when you add HCl, excess amount of HCl to the lead chloride, the white PPT will be dissolved in water. Means there is a clear solution you can get. What is the reason? Here there is a formation of plumbates HbCl3 and also H2PbCl4. Okay, these two will be dissociates into H plus PbCl3. This complex PbCl3 minus complex, and also this one 2H plus PbCl4 2 minus. Both the complexes are soluble. So in presence of excess amount of HCl, the lead chloride will be converting into these ions PbCl3 minus and PbCl4 2 minus, not Pb2 plus and Cl minus. So this one is wrong. The reaction of Pb3O4 with hot dilute nitric acid to give PbO2 is a redox reaction. Okay, let us take Pb3O4. Okay, it's a mixed oxide, you know that. 2PbO and PbO2. It's a mixed oxide of PbO and PbO2. Okay, when you react with HNO3, there is a formation of lead nitrate, PbNO3 twice, and dioxide. So in this case, what is the oxidation state? Plus 2. In this case, plus 4. If this one is plus 2 and this one is plus 4. Here there is no change in oxidation state. Plus 2, plus 2, plus 4, plus 4. So it's not redox reaction. So what are the correct options? A and B are the correct options. Okay, consider the following 4 compounds. Choose the correct statements. Okay, these are amine derivatives and aniline derivatives. Okay, the order of basicity 2 is greater than 1 is greater than 3 is greater than 4. Okay, let us compare basicity. We know that basicity increases as the E density increases. So if you take aniline, okay, these basicity is due to this lone pair of electrons. In this case, you have one lone pair of electron. Here, methyl groups, electron donating groups, they releases electrons to the nitrogen. So there is an increase in electron density. Finally, there is an increase in E density. So the basicity of 2 is greater than 1, obviously. Here, little bit steric factors are also there. There is a little bit steric hindrance, but the electronic factors dominates over steric factors here. And if you take third and fourth, here there is the introduction of electron withdrawing groups, NO2 groups, electron withdrawing groups. Obviously, these groups decreases the electron density on NH2 group. are nitrogen. So 3 and 4 should be less basic than 1 and 2. Let us compare basicity of 3 and 4. In this case, there is a delocalization of these electrons. That's why there is a decrease in electron density. If you take this molecule, suppose if these electrons participate in delocalization, what is the structure you will get? What is the structure you will get? This is the structure. Double bond. Here there is a negative charge, one pair of electrons, and this, and these are methyl groups, and this one is NO2, and this one is NO2. Here all the four groups, methyl and this one is methyl, all the four groups are on the same plane. Since it is a double bond, all the four groups are in same plane. So there is a steric hindrance. There is a steric repulsion between these four groups. So here delocalization of lone pair electrons into the ring is not possible. This is not possible. Okay, this one is not possible. So which one is more basic? Third one or fourth one? Fourth one is more basic in this case. Why? The lone pair of electrons and the nitrogen are more available due to not participation in the delocalization. That's why fourth one is more basic when compared with third one. So fourth one, and finally least basic is third one. So this order is incorrect. The magnitude of pKb difference between 1 and 2 is more than between 3 and 4. 1 and 2, here there is a little difference between 1 and 2, but there is a huge difference between 3 and 4. What is the reason? In the case of 2, there is a participation of lone pair of electrons in the delocalization, but in the case of 4, there is no participation of lone pair of electrons due to steric factors. So this one is incorrect. Actually 3 and 4 difference is greater than 1 and 2 difference in case of pKb values. Resonance effect is more in 3 than in 4. Okay. In this case, there is a more resonance effect due to delocalization of lone pair of electrons. Here, there is no delocalization of lone pair of electrons. So that's why there is a decrease in basic. And steric effect makes compound 4 more basic than 3. Okay, already I have explained. Due to steric repulsions between these two and these two groups, there is no participation of lone pair of electrons. So, which are correct? C and D are correct options. Question number 12. Consider the following transformations of a compound P. Here you have to identify what is the P and also what is the R and what is the reagent X. Okay, let us take P as this molecule. Okay, in this case, okay, this is the P. Okay, when you add X, that is a palladium like quinoline hydrogen. Okay, in this case, there is a reduction of triple bond into double bond. So what is the product you will get? You will get okay, this is the product you will get. Okay, this is the product. Then when it is treated with KMnO4, acidified KMnO4, here there is a bond cleavage here, and here there is a formation of COOH. Okay, and here you will get COOH, and this is a COOH, and this one will become CO2, and here, and this one will become COOH. Okay, this carbon, and this carbon will become COOH. If you take this molecule, okay, this molecule is is not optically active, since in this case there is no asymmetric center. Okay, this center, if you take, this one is not asymmetric center. Okay, this group and this group are same, so it's optically inactive, so this one is incorrect. Suppose if you take P, okay, in case of P, what is the final product? Okay, when you treat with X, you will get partial reduction, okay, triple bond. Okay, so finally you will get this one. And when you treat with KMnO4 in acidic medium, okay, you will get this product, and this one will become COOH, and this one will become COOH, and this one will become COOH. So if you take this carbon is asymmetric carbon. Here if you take the groups which are attached with this carbon, all are different groups. This one is different, okay, this one is different, and this one is different. So this one is correct. P is this one. Suppose if you take P as this molecule, then what is the R? What is the R? X is correct. Okay, here X is also correct. And what is the R? You have to treat with first amide, sodamide. So this one abstract proton. So this one will become C minus. Okay, here the proton will be abstracted. Next case, you have to react with the PHC double bond O CH3. Okay, this one here there is a nucleophilic addition reaction in acidic medium. Then what is the product you will get? The product will be like this. This is the group, and this one is attached with this carbon. So this carbon will become O minus, and then later it will be protonated OH, and another group is CH3, another group is PH. Okay. Then after that there is a deprotonation. Okay, something is missed. Okay, after that there is a deprotonation. Okay, adjacent CH3. This is the CH3 from this one hydrogen, and here there is a OH removal. So finally you will get this molecule. Due to removal of this one, there is a formation of C double bond C, and this is the phenyl ring. This is a fragment from this molecule. From this molecule you will get this one. So R is also correct. So what are the correct options in this case? Except A, B is correct, C is correct, and also D are correct options. Okay, in section 3 we have numerical value questions. A solution of 0.1 molar weak base is titrated with 0.1 molar of a strong acid. The variation of pH of the solution with the volume of HA added is shown in the figure below. What is the pKb of the base? The neutralization reaction was given. So actually for this equation, what is the pOH value? pOH is equal to pKb K log concentration of BH plus by concentration of B. Okay, this is a Henderson equation. According to Henderson equation, for strong base, for strong acid versus weak base, pOH is equal to pKb plus log BH plus concentration by B. From this curve, what is the neutralization point? This is the V neutralization. Okay, V neutralization is equal to 6.0 ml. Then what is half of the Vn of neutralization? What is the volume? The volume is 0.3.0 ml. Okay, this is the half neutralization. At half neutralization, what is the pH value? What is the pH? The pH is exactly 11. Okay, at half neutralization, what is the pH? pH is equal to 11 at 1 by 2 of half neutralization. Suppose if you take half neutralization, here half of the amount of weak base will be protonated. So the amount of BH plus will be equal to the amount of B. Okay, this one is true. This one is valid when 1 by 2 at valid at 1 by 2 Vn. So at 1 by 2 Vn, the equation POH will be POH is equal to PKB plus these are equal. So log, there is a cancellation of these one. So there is a log 1. Log 1 is 0. So POH is equal to PKB. So in case of titration between weak base and strong acid at half neutralization, the POH value will be equal to PKB. Then what is the POH? We know that here pH is 11, POH obviously 14 minus 11, it will be 3.0. So what is the POH? 3.0. So finally PKB value of weak base is 3.0. Okay, liquids A and B form ideal solutions for all compositions of A and B at 25 degrees centigrade. Two such solutions with 0.25 and 0.50 mole fractions of A have the total vapor pressure of 0.3 and 0.4 bar respectively. What is the vapor pressure of pure liquid in bars? Okay, Raoult's law. Okay, according to Raoult's law, suppose if you take a solution contains liquid A and liquid B, the total vapor pressure is equal to PA naught XA plus PB naught XB. PB naught XB. These are the pure vapor pressures of liquid A. This is the pure vapor pressure of liquid B. Mole fraction of this one, liquid A, and a mole fraction of liquid B. Here directly mole fractions are given. So for first solutions, okay, what is the total vapor pressure for first solution? Total vapor pressure 0.3. So if you take first solution, 0.3 is equal to two such solutions with mole fractions of A. Okay, mole fractions of A is given. Okay, it will be PA naught into what is the mole fraction of A? It is 0.25. Obviously, what is the mole fraction of B? It will be 0.75. We know that XA plus XB is equal to 1. So when XA is equal to 0.25, then XB should be 0.75. So 0.3 is equal to this one. Okay, this can be written as 1 by 4. It can be written as 3 by 4. So you can multiply with the 4. So finally 1.2 is equal to, it will be PA naught plus it will be 3 PB naught. This is the first solution. According to first solution, when you apply Raoult's law to the first solution, you will get this equation. Okay, when you take second, what is the total vapor pressure? 0.4 is equal to PA naught, and this one is 0.5. So second one also 0.5 PB naught. This one also 0.5. It means 1 by 2. So when you take 2 this side, you will get 0.8. So 0.8 is equal to, what is the value, PA naught plus PB naught. So when you subtract equation to these two equations, there is a cancellation of PA naught values. So finally you will get 2 PB naught is equal to, what is the equation, 0.4. So PB naught is equal to 0.4 by 2 is equal to 0.2 bar. So what is the option? Okay, the vapor pressure of pure liquid is 0.2 bar. Okay, the figure below is a plot of potential energy versus internuclear distance d of H2 molecule in the electronic ground state. What is the value of the net potential energy E naught? You have to find out net potential energy E naught in kilojoule for mole inverse. Okay, for D is equal to D naught, at which the electron, okay, when D is equal to D naught means there is no electron repulsions, and also there is no nucleus repulsion, energies are absent. Okay, as reference, the potential energy of H atom is taken as 0 when its electrons and nucleus are infinitely far apart. Means when there is no electron repulsions, nucleus repulsions, means these two are individual atoms. Okay, these are far away. There is no repulsions between electron and nucleus. Then what is the energy of this system? What is the energy of this state? In this state, the energy of the total energy, E total, is equal to energy of each hydrogen atom. Energy of each hydrogen atom. So it will be 2 into energy of each hydrogen atom. Okay, you have to calculate in terms of kilojoule for mole inverse. Per mole you have to calculate. Okay, we know that for hydrogen atom, if you take this is the nucleus. Okay, this charge is +1, and this is the electron. The charge is -1. Okay, what is the potential energy? The potential energy for hydrogen atom is equal to -1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 by q2. Okay, what is the distance between these two? Okay, this is the distance of Bohr radius. Okay, let us take r. So 1 by 4 minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, it can be written as k. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught means minus k q1 q2 by r. Here what is the minus k value? What is the k value? Here the k value in terms of SI units, 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into, what is the q1 and q2? Okay, here the charge is plus 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. This one is a minus. So if you take the quantity of charge, it will be 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Okay, both are equal, so it will be square. Q1 is equal to Q2 by R. This is the Bohr radius. It is the distance between nucleus and the electron. The distance is 0.529 angstroms, or 0.529 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. Okay, all are in SI units. Okay, this is for one hydrogen atom. Potential energy of H of potential energy of one hydrogen atom. Suppose if you take 1 mole hydrogen atoms, you have to multiply with this one should be multiplied with 6.022 into 10 to the power of 23. So when you multiply all these things, okay, 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 whole square, when you multiply all these things, you will get, yeah, yeah, multiplying, okay, you will get around minus you will get when you multiply with this one, you will get minus 2623.249 kilojoule for mole. Okay, this is for one atom. So this is for 1 mole of hydrogen atom. But for 2 hydrogen atoms, what is the E total? Is equal to 2 into minus 2623 into 249 kilojoule per mole. So this one will be equal to minus 5246 minus 5246 into 49 kilojoule per mole. Okay, this question simply it's a sum of, in this question you have to take the sum of potential energy of two individual hydrogen atoms. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, consider the reaction sequence from P to Q shown below. The overall yield of the major product Q from P is 75%. What is the amount in grams of Q obtained from 9.3 ml of P? Okay, density is given 1.00 gram per ml. Molar mass of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, nitrogen are given. Here, suppose if you take this one converts pH NaH2. Okay, when you react with NaNO2 plus HCl, okay, there is a formation of diazotization PHN2 plus. Okay, there is a this if you take 1 mole, there is a formation of 1 mole of PHN2 plus. Okay, when it is reacted with the beta naphthol, okay, when it is reacted with this molecule beta naphthol, okay, here there is a electrophilic substitution reaction at this position. So finally you will get this is a OH and this is the N, double bond N, this is the pH. Okay, this is the product. So this is the P and this is the Q. So what is the relation between P and Q? 1 mole P gives a 1 mole Q. Here, how many moles of P are participated in the reaction? 9.3 ml. 9.3 ml of P means how many grams? Okay, if you take this is the volume, then what is the weight of what is the mass of P is equal to D into V is equal to 9.3 into 1. So it will be 9.3 grams. Okay, then how many moles of aniline are participated? The molecular weight of aniline, if you calculate, you will get 93 grams. So the number of moles of P is equal to weight is 9.3 by 93. Okay, it will be 0.1 mole. So how many moles of Q will be formed? Okay, for 1 mole there is a formation of 1 mole of Q. So 0.1 mole there is a formation of 0.1 mole of Q will be formed when the reaction yield is equal to 100%. But in this case, what is the yield? 75% of yield. You have to multiply with 75%. So when the yield is 75%, then what is the amount? You will get 0.1 into 75 by 100. It will be point. What is the yield? 0.75 mole. Okay, how many moles you are getting? You are getting 0.075 mole of this molecule Q. So if you calculate what is the molecular weight of this molecule, Before that, you have to know what is the formula, what is the chemical formula of this molecule. Okay, how many carbons are there? Here 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and in this case 6. So finally C16. And how many hydrogens are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and in this case 5. So there is H12, and nitrogens are 2, and oxygen is 1. Okay, if you calculate the molecular weight of this molecule C6, H12O and 2O, you will get C16H12O and 2O, you will get 248 grams. What is the molecular weight? 248 grams. So when you multiply with this one, this is the molecular weight 248. Then what is the amount of W of Q is equal to number of moles 0.075 into molecular weight 248. So what is the value you will get? You will get nearly 18.6 grams. You will get 18.6 grams of Q. What is the answer? This one is 18.6 grams. 17th question. Tin is obtained from cassiterite by reduction with coke. Use the data given below to determine the minimum temperature in Kelvin at which the reduction of cassiterite by coke would take place. Okay. For this, the condition is that delta G should be 0. Delta G naught should be 0. Means delta H minus T delta S is equal to 0. Finally, T is equal to, what is the equation you will get? T is equal to delta H naught by delta S naught of reaction. So this is the equation to get minimum temperature at which the process will take place. You have to calculate delta H naught reaction and delta S naught reaction. Okay, what is the reaction? The reaction is SnO2 plus coke is equal to Sn plus O2. Okay, this is at standard state. This one also is at standard state. What is the delta H formation of SnO2? Minus 581.0 kilojoule per mole. Okay, it is in kilojoules. These are in joules. Okay, kilojoule per mole, and this one is 0. This one is 0. For CO2 minus 394.0. Then what is the delta S naught value? Delta H naught value. Okay, delta H naught reaction is equal to delta H naught formation of product minus delta H formation of reactants. So minus 394 minus of minus 581.0. So here how much you will get? Here you will get 187 kilojoule per mole. What is the amount? What is the delta H naught reaction? 187 kilojoule per mole. What about S naught values? S naught values. SnO2 is 56.0 and tin is 52.0 and this one is 6.0 carbon and CO2 is 210.0. Then what is the delta S naught of reaction? Simply sum of products, entropy sum of products minus entropy sum of reactants. So you will get 262. This is 262 minus this one is 62. So finally you will get 200. Okay, 200 joule per mole. This is per mole. Then what is the temperature? T is equal to delta H reaction 187 into, okay, this is in kilojoules. So you have to convert into joules. 10 cube joule per mole. This one is 200 joule per mole. So finally you will get, what is the temperature? Okay, it will be around, it is 935 Kelvin. This is the temperature. This is the minimum temperature at which reduction of castrate by coke would take place. The last question. An acidified solution of 0.05 molar Zn2 plus is saturated with 0.1 molar H2S. What is the minimum molar concentration of H plus required to prevent the precipitation of ZnS? Okay, Ksp value is given and overall dissociation constant is given. Okay, you have to find out what is the minimum molar concentration required to prevent the precipitation of ZnS. To prevent the, okay, for precipitation, what is the condition? What is the condition for precipitation? Here Ksp should be equal to ionic product Ip. Okay, what is the Ksp value? Here 1.25 into 10 to the power of minus 22 is equal to, what is ionic product? Ionic product is the concentration of Zn2 plus and concentration of S2 minus. So what is the concentration of Zn2 plus? An acidified solution of 0.05 molar Zn2 plus is saturated with 0.1 molar H2S. Here the concentration of Zn2 plus is given. What is the concentration? 0.05 and concentration of S2 minus. You have to find out concentration of S2 minus. So what is the concentration of S2 minus? It will be 1.25 into 10 to the power of minus 22 divided by 0.05 means 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2. So it can be written as minus 20, 1.25 by 5 into 10 to the power of minus 20, and it can be written as 125 by 5 into 10 to the power of minus 22. So it is 25 into 10 to the power of minus 22 molar. This is the S2 minus concentration. Here overall dissociation constant. Suppose H2S, what is the overall dissociation? It is 2H plus and S2 minus. Here K net, what is the K net? K net is equal to K1 into K2. K1 into K2 is equal to concentration of S2 minus and concentration of H plus square divided by concentration of H2S. So here we know the value of S2 minus, we know this is the value, and you have to find out H plus concentration, we know the value of H2S. So what is the final H plus concentration square will be K net into concentration of H2S divided by concentration of S2 minus. Okay, what is the net value? Okay, H plus square is equal to, this one is 10 to the power of minus 21 into, what is the H2S concentration? This is the H2S concentration. 1 into 10 to the power minus 1 divided by, and concentration of S2 minus. Okay, this is the concentration of S2 minus 25 into 10 to the power minus 22. So when you calculate this one, you will get the concentration of H plus square will be 1 by 25. Here there is a minus 21, this one is a minus 1, so there is cancellation of these two. So finally, what is the concentration of H plus? This is the concentration of H plus square. From this, what is the concentration of H plus? The concentration of H plus will be 1 by 5. What is it's a 0.2. So what is the answer? What is the minimum molar concentration of H plus is required? It is 1 by 5 molar or 0.2 molar. Okay, thank you very much.